Let's go. Happy Wednesday to everybody out there. December 10th. Thank you once again for joining us this week as Mike and I dig deeper into the offseason with a look at the top list of National League prospects and what the fantasy impact will be for 2026, along with a winter meetings update. There's a new Yankee killer in the world, Pete Alonso. But before we get to all that fun, we begin the show by asking you the question, where else would you rather be than right here, right now? You're looking live at our split studios, Albany, New York, the Philly Burbs. This is Fantasy Baseball Now, episode 66. Next week, I get to say episode 67 is here for our show, part of the Ball 9 Podcast Network. I'll say that many, many times. How are you?
No, you will not. I'm fine. I am fine. Also, as part of the Ball 9 Network, we also encourage you to smash the like button, follow us on our YouTube channel, follow us at Fantasy Base B Now on the app formerly known as Twitter. Unless you're under 16 in Australia, then soon enough you won't be able to.
You're out. Out. Go do some homework. Go back to watching porn the old-fashioned way by stealing your father's magazines. Sure.
It's been a busy week at the winter meetings.
It's about time. I'm glad it's winter meetings where they're actually talking about transactions instead of Scott and Boris led clients that are gonna sign in February and March. At least you got some juice going here.
Oh, he had a beautiful. I should have found it. He had a beautiful quote about Bellinger. They asked him about Bellinger, and it was something to the effect of, I'm not going to judge how this is going, and I'm not going to yank you around. We've met with many teams. Like he referenced like 7 teams in his quote, and it was really good, but it's Scott Boras. So
yeah,
it was just a drivel of bullshit that pissed me off. So, but yeah, how about those Orioles going out and getting them a top of the rotation pitcher today? Oh no, they didn't do that. First of all, good for Pete Alonso.
Yeah,
good. And there's nothing more vengeful than a woman scorned. And Pete Alonso was the woman scorned because fuck the Mets. You want to give him a 1-year contract? You want to make him feel like he's not valued in an organization that he came up in and is the all-time leading home run hitter for? You want to make him feel like that? This is what you get. You get it stuck right up your rear end, and good. Choke on Devin Williams while he's choking for you, and Edwin Diaz is setting a save record in Los Angeles. You heard it last week. I said it. Welcome to Los Angeles, Edwin Diaz. I said it.
Yep.
That was Ray Charles saw that one coming. That was a piece of cake. I mean, that
was easy. They had to. That was probably their only flaw.
Well, they had to do that.
Yeah.
He had to do that. Oh, the big man from Massachusetts is also feeling scorned that he didn't get a player that they didn't even make an offer to. Well, the Red Sox are all butthurt that they didn't get Pete Alonso. You know how you don't get guys? You don't make offers to them.
No, but they picked up some guy I never heard of from the A's today, so they got that going for them.
They do, and they made a huge trade for another guy that nobody ever heard of to get an outfielder to replace the one they traded. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. There are reports from the winter meetings that they are optimistic on Bregman. I don't know what that means. He's not taking a 1-year deal. I guarantee you that. He did that. He's not taking another one of those. Schwarber back to the Philly. So let's talk about, before we talk about what we all knew was going to happen, because I do have a little message for Pirate fans in the Schwarber conversation. Fantasy impact for Pete Alonso in Baltimore.
Huge.
You think it changes?
I think he's going to hit more home runs there.
Well, they'll move the fences in for him again. Or maybe they'll move him back. Or maybe they'll move him over. Or maybe they'll make it taller. Or maybe they'll make it shorter. I don't know. It's like they're the Grinch that stole baseball. That place.
No, I think he's going to have a better year in Baltimore than he did in New York.
He'll probably hit behind Gunnar Henderson, right? I mean, if he hits behind Taylor Ward, there won't be any. There'll be automatically one out when he comes up. So I don't think well, he had a huge year last. He had his best offensive year of his career last year overall.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much. I don't know if I'd rate him any higher than I would have rated him had he re-signed with the Mets. I don't know. I'm doing a head-to-head league tomorrow night on CBS Sports. So
I haven't heard anything. I don't know if I got in there.
I'm in.
Did he send you an email?
Theodore? Yeah.
Crap.
Yeah, I'm in.
All right. I guess I didn't make the cut.
It's good timing. It's good timing. It's good because in head-to-head with 7 points for saves and 7 points for wins, closers have a little more appeal.
Yep.
And that changes the way you look at it in that scoring system for the draft. So it makes Diaz more. It makes Diaz a more valuable commodity in head-to-head than he would have been on a team that wasn't going to make the playoffs had he stayed in New York. I know. We'll talk about that a little bit next week. I've done enough research that I'm like overwhelmed with NFBC. So I am going to join a league. I just don't want to do a draft right now. I really don't. I don't want to draft a team and get stuck. Then get stuck with drafting somebody that I wish I didn't draft.
Yankees up to anything yet, or still still looking at the profit and loss statement?
They're poking on Peralta. They checked in on Pivetta, who I don't know what the fuck the Padres are doing. I don't know what the Padres are doing. I mean, I don't know what the Padres. I don't have the faintest idea what the Padres are doing. I wish I knew. But I don't think they know. Like, you have no starting pitching and you're making Pivetta available in trades. Like, for what? They're not gonna re-sign Suarez.
No, they don't want to.
Not based on them saying Miller was staying in the bullpen. That's I don't know, Ted. I like that. I think.
Okay.
I think I like that. We'll chat a little bit about it. Maybe I'll do one this week just for the fuck of it.
All right.
$50. It's just a Christmas gift one of my kids won't get that they don't deserve in the first place.
There you go. That's the spirit.
Yeah. Look, they're not 10. They're not 10 years old. They're going to get what they're going to get at this point. But Schwarber re-signing. Phillies have an offer on the table to Real Muto. They signed Don Mattingly as their bench coach, so I maybe get to see Don. Yeah. His son's the assistant GM.
I did not know. I did not see that signing. Was that today? Recent today?
That was last week. I think they announced that they brought him in.
Shit.
At least I thought they did. Maybe they're just discussing it, and it's hard to read. It's hard to read anything about any other sports in Philadelphia right now because it's clouded by the tears of the Eagles fans. So it's difficult. It's difficult to filter through what's really going on. But
did they have to sign Schwarber? By the way, is that something they?
Well, did they have to? No, they didn't. They didn't have to. I mean, they could have not signed him and gotten younger and made a run at Tucker or Bellinger instead to give some flexibility, or Alonso to give him some positional flexibility, move Harper back to the outfield. But I also think when the money all shook out and the other offers came in, they were the ones that were willing to do a fifth year. That's Dombrowski. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He doesn't. When Dombrowski leaves, if the Phillies organization is the Rockies, he doesn't care. He does everything he can to try to win while he's there, and then whatever's left over when he gets there, it's like Chernobyl. It's like a scorched earth vacuous shithole.
It's not my problem.
Like Detroit's just getting out of it, like literally. Like their farm system's stocked. They got young players. And it took 10 years where Detroit was completely irrelevant after he left. He's just terrible.
Yeah.
So I'm a little surprised as Ted's mentioned the Asian players that have been posted that not one of them is signed. I would have thought during the winter meetings at least one of them would have signed. It's a little surprising. They could have traded for Marte and fixed second base and flex their lineup a little bit better, but I guess they decided that was better. And for the Pirate fans, and I know you're jaded, and I understand why.
They should.
I get it. I understand. I get it. You have every right to feel the way you feel about Ben Cherington and that dipshit Bob Nutting owner that you have. But for Pirate fans to say that they made Schwarber a 4-year, $120 million offer, the same AAV as the Phillies gave him, and it was a PR move, that's now you're really too jaded for me.
Yeah.
Like now to the Pirate fans' points, their money will be where their mouth is. If they don't sign $30 million worth of free agents, then they have every right to feel the way they feel. Like, hey, we knew we weren't going to sign them anyway. They could feel worse than Cincy. Cincy said they're not going to make any big splashes after they didn't get Schwarber. That was
I know.
Because they thought he was going to help them sell tickets. I don't know how. He must have a lot of family there.
So those teams,
he got like 1,500 family members that were going to all of a sudden buy season tickets and raise their attendance to 24,000 a night from 22,500. I mean, is that what they were expecting? That's kind of.
I said it last week. I'll say it again. If Pittsburgh really wanted Schwarber, they needed to offer him 5 at 35. You got to give them a reason to go to a losing franchise.
Yeah. They made it, but
and you only need to get one or two of those guys to let people know you're serious. But that's what you have to do when you suck and you got a shit owner who hasn't cared for a long time. You got to overpay to get people to come.
But they did make him a strong offer.
But
when was the last time the Pirates offered a multi-year free agency deal to anybody?
Yeah.
Look at Ted. Look at Ted doing the research on the KBO. he must have been like the big man from Massachusetts and spent COVID watching KBO baseball.
What else do you need to do at 2 a.m?
That's a fair point.
With the cheerleaders. They got the cheerleaders.
Yeah, but in Texas, it was only 1 a.m, so he had a little bit
That's your thing. Oh, there you go. Right there.
Oh, here we go.
All right.
Here we go. I'll leave that alone.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
There's the big man. Missed the KBO.
Missed the KBO.
He was all over.
Now the big man just found out Uncle Ted has a Korean wife, and now he's going to try to be friends with Uncle Ted. How'd that happen?
The question is, before we get to the National League prospects, did Uncle Ted ever make it down to Syracuse Sausage for that play date with Dennis?
Yeah, for the play date to get some Syracuse sausage. Which he would love and enjoy until he found out that the company that owns him also provides all the steak for Outback, and that their steaks are outrageous as well. Not that we've gotten any. Haven't got any of those either.
All right, you ready to do some?
I mean, I bought some Johnsonville. Yeah, I tried their website. It's broke. Their website sucks. Their website looks like it was done by a 9-year-old. Yes, it's a bad website. And they won't sponsor us. And so, you know what? Fuck Syracuse sausage now that we're thinking about it.
Ooh.
It is good, though. Jeez. It is really good. The thing I mean, there's a lot of conversation at the winter meetings. The thing I saw from the Diamondbacks is they want a Soto-like package for Marte.
That's never going to happen.
They don't want it, which just tells you they don't want to trade him. Like, make us an offer that's going to completely blow us away, and we'll trade him. And then, speaking of Soto, if the Nationals trade Gore and Abrams, which is becoming more and more likely, that means that they would have, except for Kelbert Ruiz, they would have literally traded everybody they got in a Soto deal to reset again.
Wow.
It just makes watching Who Killed the Expos, it just makes me even madder thinking about it.
I haven't had a chance to see that yet.
Gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. CJ Abrams blows. CJ Abrams is frustrating.
He is frustrating for sure. Adam, I've kept him, and he'll drive you nuts.
I know, but you look at you look at his stats at the end of the year, and you're like, not bad.
You think about what he could be for your fantasy team if he actually gave a shit and applied himself to his craft.
Yeah,
staying out all night.
Yeah, staying out all night with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens.
We used to stay out all night, and look what the hell happened to us.
Exactly. Look at us. Look at us now. We stayed out all night, and now we're on TV, Mom.
Yeah, right.
Look at it. Yeah. Don't do what we did, kids. that book learning shouldn't be taken lightly. As we found
read
out.
that book. Learn that math.
Learn that math. That's right. Learn your gazintas.
All right.
Maybe you can end up in the front office wearing a propeller hat, telling Aaron Boone how to fill out his lineup on a nightly basis while Brian Cashman's sleeping on the street for Covenant House, not signing anybody. Can't even get mad. Can't even get mad. The Yankees said they won't be pawns. They won't allow.
All night.
Yeah, Sean had good energy back in the day.
Yeah, not anymore.
It's a kid effect.
Not anymore. I was fucking tired all the time.
All right. So we're gonna
prospect watch.
It is the National League Prospect Watch, and like last week, there's only 15 on here, but we're going to talk about some guys that are off the board for sure. But I'm going to start with the number one prospect in baseball in the 2025 Minor League Player of the Year, Connor Griffin, because I don't know if they're going to cheap out and hold him in at least AAA to see.
Yep.
And then call him up in May or June. But the chirping sounds like they're going to give him every opportunity to win the second base job in spring training. And if they do, or if they move him to outfield, or if they do whatever they're going to do with him, he's going to be a really good player. He doesn't strike out, makes great contact. He's an elite fielder. And I don't know how he lasted to 9th in the draft when he was drafted, but man, that kid can play. And he's only 19. And you've already got a generational pitcher in your rotation who's 23 or whatever he is. You might as well bring all the kids up and just let them go.
Let them go.
And see what you got. I mean, there's no reason not to. I mean, everybody, I would imagine at this point, I was a little surprised Ben Cherington kept his job, but at this point, the only thing that's going to validate his job is if they call these kids up and let them play. I mean, they have another prospect as Merlin Valdez, who's 23, and he went bananas in the Arizona Fall League, and he's a first baseman, big kid. In his first 10 hits in the Arizona Fall League, it was a double and 7 home runs.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all. And 13 walks to 3 strikeouts, which is even crazier. So plate discipline with power as a left-hand hitter in Pittsburgh is – they used to have a guy that played first base that had really good plate discipline, and he wore number 8. And he was affectionately known as Pops. That's what they're comparing this kid to.
Wow.
They're comparing this kid to Stargell, and that is a high friggin' regard. Like, you don't throw those names around in the history of that organization. They don't do it very often.
He's probably second on the list of revered, right?
Yeah. I mean, probably Hannes Wagner's the greatest Pirate of all time, but like, not a lot of people saw Hannes Wagner.
Yeah, I was going to say people.
Clemente clearly is
one. I would think Stargell 2, and
then Doc Ellis. Andrew McCutchen is probably 3. I mean, the city of Pittsburgh loves Andrew McCutchen.
Hey, Uncle Ted.
We got Tamar Johnson coming. He is the. I just saw his name. He's not in here. He's in the top. He's in the top 100. The thing that they're worried about with him is he still strikes out a lot, but he runs like a lunatic. So it is speed. Another second baseman. I mean, and then Bubba Chandler's on this list, and I didn't cover him because we've already seen Bubba Chandler. But I mean, Jared Jones is young. Jared Jones is young. Bubba Chandler is young. Skeens is young. Griffin's coming. Valdez is coming. Tamar Johnson's coming. They might as well. I mean, why not at this point? Just bring them all up and see what you got. Let them learn in the majors. I mean, what the heck?
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere the way you are right now. Just go. It's funny you bring up Barry Bonds as revered when he did not, and we will talk about this next week. When he did not get elected this past week, a lot of Pittsburgh is happy about that. I don't understand it. I'm not going to go off on a tangent. He's the best player I ever saw in my life. So, in my entirety of my lifetime, he's the best baseball player I ever saw. Yeah. So,
right, Uncle Ted, you mentioned Joe Mack. He's not on the graphic, but he's on my list. Catcher, Marlins, 21 homers last year, hit 257 in 112 games over AA and AAA. Plays at the catcher position. He may come up and get a look with the Marlins this year. The other guy's not on this list who I loved is Logan Henderson with Milwaukee.
I don't understand. He's not on a prospects watch at all.
Yeah, he should. Well,
and it may be because he had enough time. I mean, it's not like the Brewers are depth of prospects. I mean,
he didn't have a lot of time. That's the thing. I don't know if people remember it. Henderson was the first one up last year They didn't call Mizorowski up until Henderson got hurt, and he only had, I think, I'm going to look him up. I think he only had 3 starts.
He was
before
good
he
too.
got injured, and his stats were fantastic. He had the elbow, but he had a 1.76 ERA, 33 strikeouts, and 8 walks and 5 starts. That's it. 25 in the 3rd innings.
So Joe Mack gets called up. What do you do with Agustin Ramirez? So I don't know what his defensive metrics are. I don't have the faintest idea how good defensively or how bad defensively Ramirez is. He had a pretty good offensive year for them last year on a team that didn't have a lot of offense.
Find a place for him.
Yeah,
Find a place for him.
Ted makes a great point. The two best hitters probably that ever lived, and everybody wants to reinvent the wheel on the swing.
That's interesting.
You know what made them great? All they did was hit strikes. They didn't hit anything else. They both walked a ton. So Sal Stewart's next, and he got a look at the end of the year last year, and he's listed at first base, third base, which it seems as if every single third base prospect that the Reds have had in the last 5 years have been listed at third base, first base. Marte, Encarnacion, Strand, Steer, they're all listed as first base, third base.
Yeah.
I mean, they have one of the top couple defensive third basemen in baseball with Ke'Bryan Hayes, so it'd be difficult. I mean, you're not going to move Ke'Bryan Hayes. You can't get anything for him if you trade him because his offensive value is not great. But Stewart got a little look last year, and he's only 22, and he could fix first base for the Reds, and they desperately need him. They need somebody to fix first base.
It's interesting. You think about it, how the game has changed, and whether it's college, guys are accelerating through the minors at a clip that we're not used to seeing. Usually your top prospects are 22, 23. You got 18-year-olds, you got 19-year-olds that may be in the, Leo DeVries in Oakland. The kids are more major league ready at a younger age. I don't know if that's just evolution of the player.
Well, they play so many games. They play so many games at this point that, I mean, it was the days of Jeff Burrows and Bob Horner, Pete Incaviglia leaving college and going right to the majors. That was a fluke.
Yeah,
Now it's okay. You got 50 games in the minors. You're exactly what we thought you were in college. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's get them up. And I do think economics has something a little bit to do with that. I do think economics has something to do with that in some regard, where if we can get them up here when they're 19, 20, 21, and we can, follow the Braves model, we'll sign, we'll give them a 7-year contract when they're 21. So we don't have to fight through arbitration with them before they get great, if they're as good as we believe they're going to be. I just think teams are trying to find out sooner than later. I mean, the Angels have done it. The Angels have done it 4 years in a row. But they play a ton. They're playing a ton of games. And it feels like more post-college kids are having more success in the majors than high school kids, because high school kids are ruined by the time they get to Major League Baseball. They played too much baseball.
Nerd alert.
And they haven't been coached. They've been allowed to do whatever they want to do. So Stewart got 18 games last year at the end of the year. And in 55 at bats, he had 5 homers and 8 RBIs. Now he did strike out 15 times and only walked 3 times, but so that's a little bit of a concern. 15 times and 55 at bats, but some of that could be explained by getting called up and you're nervous for your first 4 or 5 games. He came up, he hit right away. And when they were making a run at the end, he was in the middle of it. So I think there's excitement, and he's a guy to watch out for. Like, he may be a late corner infielder in a draft that you might, as you continue to pay attention to what goes on as spring training rolls out. He may be a guy to grab. I'll let you go on this next guy. Tell me where this next guy is going to play.
Well, Mr. Weatherholt, I assume.
Yeah.
Well, you hear Brendan Donovan may end up with the Dodgers. Arenado, I was shocked they kept him last year. I can't imagine he'll be back. Or Mason Witten really didn't assert himself the way I thought he would last year.
He was hurt a lot, though.
So where do you play him? Second base or third base, most likely. 109 games over AA and AAA, 17 homers, 23 steals, hit 306. It's 22. Why not? Yeah. Again, if a guy's going to help you, find a way to find a spot in the field for him.
Oh, he's
Brendan Donovan going to really make the Cardinals? Is Brendan Donovan going to really push the Cardinals over the top? Probably not. He's not a bad player, but he's older. Get the kid up.
Yeah, and they could probably and they're going to get more for Donovan than they're going to get for Arenado.
Yeah, for sure. It was interesting. They never brought him up, though, Weatherholt, at the end of last year.
I don't know why they didn't bring him up when Wynn got hurt. I can't for the life of me figure that out.
Yeah,
because they don't care. That's insanity.
Well, they have to start caring now. People stopped coming for years.
I just said that out loud about the St. Louis Cardinals. Donovan for Cameron would be a good trade for both teams.
Are you there, Sean?
I mean, we saw McClain. He was terrific.
Yeah.
We saw Chandler. He was really good. I mean, of course, the Dodgers are going to have a bunch of guys on here because they always do. Tong was pretty good, right?
He was pretty good.
Two Brewers shortstops. One's 18 and the third-ranked prospect in baseball, and the other one's not 18 and he's the 16th ranked prospect in baseball. Fucking Brewers, man. And then you mentioned Henderson, and it's just like they just keep coming and coming and coming.
What are your thoughts on Bryce Eldridge? When I decided to put him on the list, my first thought was he might be a guy I'm not sure about. And you can't read a book by the first page. He did not have when he came up, he was bad.
He wasn't great.
He got
hurt. Then he was injured.
He's only 20 years old. He's got big power. Something about him I'm not sure about.
I mean, he is a left-hand hitting first baseman. If they get more protection in the lineup, maybe he'll be better off.
Well, his problem playing first base is they got Iron Glove Devers there.
Well, they're not moving Devers.
You ask Mr. Selfish the DH.
He's definitely not going to third.
No.
I mean, you gave Matt Chapman way more money than he should have got paid, but you did it. You're not going to move him to short when Adames has to move to second as he gets older because his range is not great anyway. It's good that, it's a good comp. That's probably a good way to look at Bryce Eldridge.
I'm not sure I'm compliment, though.
Well, Brandon Belt had a long and productive career. but he was one of those guys that he wasn't. I mean, Eldridge is a 19th ranked prospect in baseball.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be Brandon Belt and live up to that number.
No.
I mean, you can't be. I mean, you just can't be. I mean, Andrew Painter. Right now, Andrew Painter's in the Phillies rotation coming into the season. I think they're counting on him being in the rotation. I don't know why they didn't. I don't know what their fascination is with Taijuan Walker or who he has pictures of that forced them to make him pitch as when they were having injuries, when Nola went down. I thought for sure they were gonna call him up. But Painter was not great at Lehigh Valley last year coming back from the injury. He was not very good at all. But he's still only 22 years old, or maybe he'll be 23 when the season starts. They love him. He's a name that gets floated around when they talk about Marte, Stott, Painter, and another prospect in a trade for Marte was the names being thrown around. He's got a huge arm. He strikes out a ton of guys. He's the next. He's going to be, if he can stay healthy, he's going to be really good. And if he pitches on the Phillies, he's going to be really good because he's going to have a chance to win every game with the amount of runs they score. He'll have a chance to win every game. I mean, I think I'd rather have a lefty in Philadelphia as a starter than a righty because I don't know. The ball flies out on both sides, so it doesn't really make any difference.
Yeah. What about Casey and with the Cubs? He's the reason they don't really have to go out and break the bank for Kyle Tucker if they believe that much in him.
Well, between him and Betancourt, I mean, they've got two hitting prospects that if they want to be cheap the way they keep, or I mean, not Betancourt, Ballesteros, if they want to be cheap the way they want to be cheap, and they got a young, cheap first baseman now, and I mean, their infield, with the exception of Swanson, is not costing them a lot of money. If they want to spend all their money on pitching, you would expect that he'd be playing right field next year.
Yeah.
Or they got to move him. You can't keep. Only the Yankees bury prospects to the point where they don't have any value at all.
And yes, Uncle Ted, the Orioles should trade anybody to get some pitching. Anybody.
Well, Ryan Mountcastle's going to be gone. I mean, you got a combination of Rutschman, Alonso, and Basala to catch DH and play first base. Mountcastle's not going to get any at bats, and he'll have some value someplace.
Yeah,
he could get you a Kyle Gibson type guy.
Preferably somebody good pitcher.
I'm not a huge Kobe Mayo fan. I'm really not. Plus, he started a bullshit fight last year, so he showed he's a little bit of a. And he was wearing that friggin' creamsicle uniform when he did it. It just. I'm not a huge fan. I mean, Jet Williams for the Mets, he's being talked about as possible trade bait if they go after Joe Ryan, but that's not what the Twins need. Batong is for that matter. So what are your thoughts on Chase Burns? What are your thoughts on Chase Burns coming into this year?
Are they going to let him pitch?
It's a good question.
Are they going to I don't know. I mean, he has electric stuff. Electric.
Yeah, he does.
He throws the ball different than a lot of other guys. And he's part of this young age group that's trying to throw 102 every pitch. He makes it look effortless. If he can stay healthy, he's going to be elite. But I just don't believe you can hit 100 plus that often as a starter and have your arm last. It doesn't work. That's why I was happy to hear that the Padres are going to have Mason Miller close. I love Mason Miller. He's not a starter. The A's tried him as a starter when he first came up, and he got hurt a couple times. And they made him a closer, and he's dominant. That's my issue. You got to learn how to pitch. You got to learn how to get by and only 95, 97. You know,
he was a lot like Mizorowski, though. Mizorowski's early success was off the charts, but when Mizorowski started settling in, he went back to walking a bunch of guys, and it was like you get like 3 1/3 innings out of him, and then it was a crapshoot.
Yeah.
And Burns was the same thing. Like first time through the lineup, he was ridiculous.
He's great. And then he'd go out and give up 6 runs. But even in those 6 runs, he looked fantastic.
Big man. Big man just updated his on the block status.
Yeah, right. Talking about Chase Burns.
Now that we're talking about Chase Burns, Vinny Pasquantino was updated later in the week after last week's show.
Oh, his name came up in conversation with BU 02215. He asked me during the week, he goes, maybe I should go after somebody for Mike with Pasquantino. I'm like, well, Todd, you watch the show. You know he loves him.
Yeah, I'm just going to draft him.
He sends his regards, by the way. He is at a concert this evening.
Is it a concert?
Yes.
Is it the oh, I can't think of it. Like the Icelandic Christmas music people or whoever they are. The Padres do have the best bullpen I've ever seen. They're going to need them. They're going to need to start pitching them in the 3rd inning. They're going to bullpen every single game next year. But they get Joe Musgrave back. That'll fix everything.
Yeah.
That'll fix it all. So, another prospect that's another Met pitching prospect that was the most talked about and the most highly regarded of their pitching prospects is not on this list, and that is Brandon Sproat. I thought for sure Sproat would have been in the rotation before McLean or Tong even got a start.
Yeah.
And you don't hear a word about him anymore, except for when they talk about trade rumors. Like the trade rumor for Ryan was Sproat, Tong, and Chet Williams. I mean, if you're Minnesota, you might go, maybe we should just do that. Something tells me they'd rather trade Pablo Lopez than they would rather trade Joe Ryan. Maybe because Ryan's more available. That might have something to do with it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know what they're. I think Ryan's better. I don't know.
And then there's 2 buried prospects. One's getting buried. And that's Alex Freeland in Los Angeles. And he got a look last year, and I love that kid. I mean, Dalton Rushing's buried there as well. They're going to have to make a decision on Freeland, either to move him to second base or move. I mean, God forbid you move Betts to second base. He'd be great, but like he was an elite defensive shortstop last year.
Yeah.
He's just good at everything. I mean, Mookie Betts is just good at everything. Like, he's a great bowler. He's a scratch golfer. He can dunk a basketball at 5'10". He's just an enigma as an athlete. But as he gets older, and Freeland's there, and Freeland wasn't terrible when he came up last year, just to get to play a lot.
Yeah.
And then you got Jordan Lawler in
Arizona,
who every time you think he's close, he gets hurt. And then they trade Suarez, and he's still not playing third base for them. Now, if they trade Marte, maybe he plays second because he's not moving Perdomo. They're not moving Perdomo off short. I'm not 100% sure Perdomo's going to repeat that, but he might.
It's worth a chance. He was incredible last year.
It's worth a chance. I feel when we looked at last week's American League prospects as compared to this week's National League prospects, I feel like there's going to be more younger National League players than there are in the American League. I mean, Boston's a young team, but I mean, I feel like the prospects that we talked about, there weren't 20 other prospects to talk about in the American League outside of the guys we talked about, these 6 we talked about. When, we could probably talk about 16 or 18 National League players.
Yeah.
That could be on a roster as early as June 1 if they don't start the season with their teams. I mean, Thomas White, we didn't even talk about. He's why they're talking about trading Cabrera.
If you were a GM and you were going to trade for one, would you take Cabrera or Alcantara?
I'd take the younger guy. I'd always trade for the younger guy. I would take Alcantara if I was the Yankees.
Yeah.
Or if I was the Red Sox, or if I was Houston, or if I were the Phillies, or a team like that where he doesn't have to be a number 1 for me. He can be a 3, a 4, or even a 5.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with whatever I get out of him because it's going to be better than what I have in my rotation right now because I'm close and I think he may help me get over the top. I'm not taking him if I'm Baltimore because I need a number 1. I need a number 1 starter. And he was that. He certainly was that before Tommy John, but he wasn't that at all last year. And he had glimpses of maybe a couple
tricky because he pitched better the last month and a half.
And he pitched better the last month and a half until the middle of September, and then he was terrible. He's got a better track record, so your dice roll is less on him than Cabrera. But if I was the Orioles, I wouldn't trade with the Marlins because everybody I trade there is what they were supposed to be when I wanted to call them up for me in the first place. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, some trades are going to start to happen, and there's going to be a splash that's going to surprise people. Like I was shocked. I was really surprised, really surprised that all of a sudden Seager's name started coming up in trade conversation.
Yeah.
I was more surprised that the Yankees were part of that conversation. I mean, his swing in Yankee Stadium would be unbelievable. My God, that'd be phenomenal.
Yeah, for the 72 games that he's going to be available for the year, sure.
That's the problem. Awesome. That's the problem. And he's carrying a huge contract.
He is.
He's carrying a huge contract. So the big names are going out the board.
Right, Uncle Ted.
Phillies are trying to trade Nick Castellanos. If there's any general managers tuning in, I think I can probably help you get that done. Because I'm willing to drive him. I'm willing to drive him to wherever you are. He'd probably be the Giants are the ones that should probably go after him. So they can get some pop for the 20 of the 162 games that he's actually effective. Well, maybe when we get to next week, Kyle Tucker will have signed.
Maybe. Let's hope so. Keep it coming.
Kyle Tucker's being treated like every NFL quarterback prospect has been treated in the last 10 years. All anybody is talking about with Kyle Tucker right now is what's wrong with Kyle Tucker. They don't think he loves baseball. They don't think he's open to being coached. They don't think he's fights through injury, and when he gets hurt, he just decides he doesn't want to play anymore. Like that's all the stuff. It's just the same. It feels like draft evaluation of a quarterback. Yeah, Adolis Garcia is going to go someplace and make the Rangers wish they would have signed him.
Well, Uncle Ted doesn't usually speak very highly of righties.
No, that might be we should probably screenshot this, because that might be the first time he's given and he's said anything even remotely complimentary, and that was. I'm going to say that Garcia is the best value away from a Bruce Bochy offense. I'm going to say that that's a compliment, and Ted probably meant it as an observation because he hates right-hand hitters so much. So I'm going to say that it was a compliment, just to make life interesting.
All right. Next week
we'll recap the Jeff Kent election to the Hall of Fame.
We're Tuesday next week, by the way.
Tuesday next week, and then we are off for 2 weeks.
Yes.
So we'll do whatever happens in the next week. Of course, we'll talk about the impact from a fantasy standpoint of those signings and trades, or whatever happens or whatever doesn't happen, and try to catch up on post-winter meetings. I may give a little 10 minutes on the head-to-head draft and what that might have looked like.
Yeah, for sure. I saw it, and I saw it at 3 a.m. I didn't respond, and then I responded at like 8 a.m, and apparently it's full, but oh well.
Yeah, I don't know when he sent it. I don't remember what I was doing. So that was Tuesday, right? No, it was Monday.
Yeah.
I was out with some guys I used to coach with that I hadn't seen in a long time, and I didn't even pick my phone up for like 4 hours.
Christmas shopping?
I was not Christmas. I was Christmas drinking, which that's how I Christmas shop.
There you go.
I got a whole new. I have a whole new perspective and a whole new love for Christmas shopping. I don't have to leave my house.
Yep.
I have no problem saying no to my kids. Like, you are all earning money. You fucking buy your own shit. How about that? How about when are you going to ask Dad what he wants for Christmas?
There you go.
I've asked for the same thing 4 years in a row, and they haven't given it to me.
No.
Yeah, a 30-day hiatus from them bothering me about anything. That's all I ask for.
Legit. That's legit.
Instead, I get coal in my stocking. That's what you need to get yourself.
Some coal? You
need to get yourself a pouch of coal. And then give it to yourself and watch the boys go crazy. They'll go nuts. They'll go nuts. It'll be one of the most exciting things on Christmas morning. I guarantee it. Now the dogs
keep that in mind.
The dogs get the coal now. The dogs always get the coal. Now that the ruse has been lifted off the spirit.
Yeah. No, we can finish this up and go back to the Sharon Moore soap opera playing out in Michigan.
Yeah, I mean that's why we're off the 2 weeks between Christmas and New Year's, because I'm interviewing in Michigan.
Oh, did you hear the latest with him after he got fired?
Oh, the why?
And no, not the why. No,
they don't have to pay his buyout because he got fired for conduct.
No, then he did some sort of thing wrong and has been detained by the police and turned over for investigation on some potential charges. I don't know what they are yet.
Really?
Yes, he's had a bad day.
But that Jim Harbaugh can stack up some talent, can he? Holy God. Yeah. Maybe it was Connor Stallion's daughter. I mean, who knows what was going on there?
I don't know.
The first name that came, guess who the first name that came? Caleb DeBoer.
Oh, I put it on Twitter the other night. I have, for the record, Lane Kiffin going from Ole Miss to LSU to Alabama in a 2-week span on my bingo card for this year.
Could happen.
Absolutely could happen.
Could happen.
Let's see how the good folks in Louisiana State University feel
Bring
about
more
that.
chaos. I notice there weren't a lot of Notre Dame fans on tonight. They must still be crying themselves to sleep, you fucking frauds.
I think you chased them all away.
Jesus Christ. You know why I chased them away? Because I asked them for the diplomas when they kept saying we and us, and not one of them was a fucking graduate. What a bunch of fraudulent bastards they are. Bye. It's a good way to close. I was hoping not to bring that up because I've been having so much fun with it for the last 4 days.
Oh yeah,
that I got a callus on my thumb from responding to Notre Dame fans on X. Show me your diploma. What does that matter? But you keep saying we.
All right. Hall of Fame next Tuesday. And winter meeting
next Tuesday. Barry Bonds not getting in while I'm alive. We'll talk about that.
8:00 Eastern, Tuesday the 16th.
Tuesday the 16th.
We'll see you then.
The third day of Christmas.
All righty.
Adios.
See you.
Peace.